This regular City Council meeting is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Here.
Councilmember Wagner. Councilmember Weiss.
Here.
Councilmember Edgar.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda is routine items that are presented without discussion. Regular City Council meeting minutes of December 2nd, 2019. Special council meeting minutes of the same date. Zoning Board of Appeals meeting minutes of September 24th. Payment application number 1 for the 2019-20 miscellaneous concrete project M699 to Mattioli Cement Company of Fenton, Michigan for the amount of $165,492.35. Payment application number 3 for the 2018 Pocket Parks Construction Project M689 to Warren Contractors and Development Incorporated of Shelby Township for the amount of $52,998.13. Board of Review meeting minutes of December 10th. Payment of an invoice from Mid-States Recreation for the DNA Tower play structure at the Seneca Pocket Park for the total amount of $78,532. Licenses new and renewals is submitted for December 16th. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an elected official we would like to welcome, City Commissioner Helene Zach, who has been wonderful about keeping us abreast of county issues. Thank you for coming.
I'm County Commissioner Helene Zach, and I represent the east side of Oak Park, east of Coolidge, 8 Mile to 10. And it's a pleasure to be here this evening. Lots going on to report. First of all, we are trying to work on the right transit plan. For the first time ever, Oakland County has a county exec that supports transit, and we posted a position. So we're going to hire somebody that actually works for Oakland County to work on the right transit plan. And that closed out, the posting was about a week and a half ago. But I'm on an internal work group, and so we are trying to forge ahead. Along with the issue of transit, and it's really mobility, I'm looking forward. We are going to have our bike share program starting here in April, and it's called MOGO, and I was asked to join the MOGO board and attended my first meeting last week. And this is the bike share program that's in Detroit, and we're going to start what we call MOGO North, which is going to go from Livernois into 5 Oakland County communities, including Oak Park. And I was so impressed by the MOGO team. I had no idea, and the depth of what they're doing until I sat in their board meeting. But their number one objective is to be recognized as the national leader in serving low income and communities of color through bike share. That's their number one vision. And one of the things that they've done is there is an access pass available, and it will be available in Oak Park. $5 a year for those people that are on some type of state benefits or low income. And cheapest transportation out there. And they've defied all of the statistics and other bike share programs. 21% of the people buying their passes are low-income people. And they've made it really easy for those people that don't have credit cards. There's a way to go and pay your $5 fee at drugstores or other community partners. So I'm really excited that we're doing this. And, you can ride, point to point. You can also buy, those that aren't low income can buy access passes too, yearly or monthly or daily. So it's really exciting opportunity. One of the initiatives that I felt strongly about for years, and many people within my colleagues, is that Oakland County has not been the most welcoming and inviting county for all of us. And it reflected in our Human Resources Department and many of the services that we do. And so to solve that issue, we approved hiring a chief diversity and inclusion officer. And that job will be posted in January. And I encourage any residents that are interested to apply for it. And we need to look at diversity and inclusion not only for our hiring practices to be competitive, but all the programming, the customer service, everything that Oakland County does needs to be viewed through this lens. And for the first time, we have a deputy county team that reflects the diversity of our county. We have our first African American county exec, 2 women, which are our first. It's really exciting to see that practiced in Vision. We're doing a couple of big celebrations in 2020. It's a 100-year celebration of women voting, women's suffrage movement, and there's already been a special movie. We had our sticker contest. I voted, we had 600 students draw stickers that you will be wearing after you vote in 2020. And we awarded Community Credit Union awarded $2,000 scholarships to middle school student and to a high school student. The art was amazing. I listened to this 6th grade girl get up there and talk about how she lived in China and how important it is for the right to vote. And she won one of the scholarships. It's just amazing. So in any case, one of the initiatives that's coming up, and I did talk to Julie already, is that we're going to have special bus tour for whomever that will go through the DIA to look at women's political art. And we talked to the director. They're putting together tours, and we're going to every district, at least one bus from every district. And Julie assured me that she could fill a bus just from Oak Park for this special tour. And one of our commissioners, Marcia Gershenson, has already seen some of the art. I think it's really fun. We're also celebrating 200 years that Oakland County is in existence in 2020. And so there's a whole bicentennial initiative. And the most immediate thing that we have done is we set aside money for 20,000 oak trees. And they are 3 different kinds that won't have oak wilt. And there's a committee deciding how those will be distributed. We will see oaks in Oak Park throughout the county, and I think it's a great way to commemorate 200 years with 20,000 oaks, and it's environmentally sustainable. I went to my first business roundtable meeting in several years, and this is an event that our former county exec, Brooks Patterson, created to have business input. Business and government together, giving suggestions for what we can do better in Oakland County. I think it's a wonderful concept. It got pretty complacent and dormant. So what has happened recently, one of the first groups that our county exec met with was the Business Roundtable and said, do you want to still keep going? Should I disband you? And what he heard loud and clear was, no, we're really excited. We want to be engaged. We have a lot of wonderful ideas. If you listen to us, we'd like to work with you. So the energy around business development and things like that, I went to the meeting, is really powerful and wonderful. Oakland County has done a good job, but we can do an even better job. And there is an initiative, there was a request for proposal to have a consultant come in and evaluate our economic development efforts to see that we are staffing the right initiatives in the right ways. So I'm excited about the opportunity to reevaluate what we're doing and how can we improve. There is, unfortunately, suicide continues to be an increased problem related to opioid and other issues. And there are suicide prevention training opportunities offered through the Oakland County Health Department. And it's applied suicide intervention skills training. It's called ASSIST. It's an evidence-based program. It's for anyone 16 or older who wants to provide suicide first aid. And if you're interested in this, you can go to, you can either contact Kat Polmere at 248-858-7171 or Polmark, Polmeark at oakgov.com. And there are 8 trainings offered, 2 each quarter. So, you know, if you're interested to learn how you can stop things.
Is this Narcan training?
This is actually this is not Narcan. This is suicide first aid. Build suicide prevention networks in the community and how to significantly reduce thoughts of suicide and suicide attempt. We previously did mental health first aid, which was more general. This is really targeting suicide. So part of the whole suicide prevention initiative, that's a collaboration with Oakland County Health and other places. I'm going to stop there. I'm going at lightning speed. I have many other things that I'm working on. It's really exciting. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for all the
you.
work you do. Very impressive. Wow. Special recognition presentations. Director Cooper, would you come forward?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager Tungate, Attorney Duff, and City Clerk Ed Norris. Each and every year, we gather in honor and celebration of Officer Mason Samborski, remembering and reflecting his great service to the City of Oak Park. December 28th will mark the 11-year anniversary of his line-of-duty death. On the early morning hours of December the 28th, 2008, Officer Samborski made a traffic stop in the area of 10 Mile and Greenfield Road. The driver of the vehicle was a 16-year-old juvenile male and lone occupant of the vehicle. After interviewing the driver and upon completing a computer query, Officer Samborski determined that the juvenile was an unlicensed driver. Instead of making a custodial arrest of the juvenile, Officer Samborski elected to park his vehicle at the scene, transport the subject to a nearby location in Oak Park, where he allegedly resided with his mother. Officer Samborski arrived at the location and was greeted at the door by a young female teen. It was not long before Officer Samborski realized that the 16-year-old male juvenile was being deceptive. The subject then fled up a flight of stairs in the apartment as Officer Samborski gave chase while calling for assistance on his radio. After a brief struggle on the stairs, Officer Samborski and the subject fell down the staircase to the bottom, breaking a plate glass window. Ultimately, the subject was able to gain control of Officer Samborski's handgun, fatally shooting him in the head. The subject then fled the scene, taking Officer Samborski's gun. Responding officers located Officer Samborski and immediately called for medical assistance. Officer Samborski was transported to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced deceased. The juvenile was taken into custody later that day and was eventually tried and convicted for murdering Officer Samborski. He was sentenced to life without parole. Today we pay honor to our fallen brother on this 16th day of December 2019. Mason was a dedicated public safety officer and a fine man in every respect. With the continued and ever-increasing dangers associated with this honorable profession, and to the men and women that serve as law enforcement officers across this great nation, I would like to recognize and thank the officers who continue to serve this community here in Oak Park as public safety officers. Our uniformed officers are the first to respond to every call for help and who put themselves in harm's way every day to maintain order and to keep the citizens of Oak Park safe. I am grateful for their unwavering dedication to that duty. This year alone, 119 officers have lost their lives defending and protecting the liberties that we all enjoy. The public safety profession is one in which few would choose, but one in which we all depend on. We are forever grateful and indebted to our fallen heroes. Today, on behalf of the men and women of the Public Safety Department, I offer our tribute to the memory of Officer Mason Samborski, and we honor him for his sacrifice. We could pause for a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cooper. City Manager Eric Tungate for employee recognition.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. I have the honor and privilege of every other month acknowledging our Employee of the Month recipient. This time, I have two, and they are both here tonight. Eric Stewart and Tony Christophal are here. Eric Stewart, if you'd come on up to the front, please, to the podium. I'm going to turn it over to Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee in just a moment. I want to just thank you because I know you've been out working a water main, unexpected water main break today. You've been at this all day. You missed the holiday luncheon today, too, because of it to some. You were able to make it, okay. Assistant City Manager Yee, if you could say a few words, that'd be great.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure. So Eric Stewart has worked for the City of Oak Park for 4.5 years, and about a year and a half ago was promoted to a Public Service Worker 2, which leads crews. What he has done primarily since that time is worked on appointments with residents, where he comes in and checks water meters, checks for leaks. He's the person who enters homes and meets with residents on a regular and routine basis. Never once have I heard a complaint. So you go into people's homes and you're dealing with people and issues that they're having or high water bills and things like that. It takes a special person to not have a single complaint. And most people are very complimentary to Eric Stewart. So a few things that would get some attention that where he would earn this award was he has been instrumental in doing the inspections for lead line services. So he has been into, I don't know, countless homes now, doing these inspections, meeting with residents, passing on the information, and just being an all-around great customer service and great person representing the city.
Just from what I've seen on Facebook, people are raving about him.
Madam Mayor, I think it might have been that Channel 7 appearance that started all that. He's been signing autographs ever
But they're saying
since.
how polite and competent and what a nice experience it was having him in their homes. I thought, wow, I'm just so impressed.
Thank you.
That for the face of Oak Park, that is an honor.
Yes, okay. So I'm finished. I'm very
Okay.
proud, very
Well,
proud to have
congratulations.
Eric
I'm going
Stewart
to
up
ask you
here.
to
Eric
stay up
Stewart.
front here if you could. Tony Christophel, if you could join me at the podium, and I'm going to have Director Rob Barrett say a few words. But Tony has been with us many years since I've been here, and done an amazing job in our code division. And, council members, I don't know if you know this or not, but she was instrumental in helping us with that darn fence on 9 Mile Road, with all of those trees growing in it. It was one of my stay awake at night things.
Yep.
So thank you for your hard work on that project. Director Barrett, can you say a few words, please?
Thank you, City Manager. Very pleased to present Animal Control Officer Code Inspector Tony Christophal as our Employee of the Month. She was hired in 2011-2012 as a part-time contractual employee. It was during the Great Recession where we were trying to get by with nothing. It was shortly after City Manager Tungate recognized and City Council did and approved the a code assistance position and a building clerk position, and fortunately, Tony applied for that, and she was hired on as a full-time regular employee in 2012 as a code assistance officer. She excelled in that position, and in 2015, she was promoted to animal control officer and code inspector. Tony's obtained many certifications, including the DNR certification to be an animal control officer, and recently in 2018, she passed the ICC exam to become a certified code inspector, which was a very difficult exam, and we're very proud of her for doing that. Through the years, Tony's been the backbone of the Oak Park's code operations, has been the main cog working behind the scenes on many efforts, including training new officers, pet vaccination clinic, writing routine snow and grass notices, filling in for clerical help, showing great compassion and care for the lost and abandoned Oak Park pets. And as City Manager mentioned, is we had a 9-mile road code enforcement blitz, which Tony led to get a lot of things cleaned up. Tony does a lot to help maintain the City of Oak Park housing stock. And I'm going to go into detail a little bit to get to where Tony got to the fence, but as an example, it was during the 9-mile road diet project and the code enforcement blitz that Tony really stood out. Tony recognized and appreciated the great changes that came with the 9-mile road pocket park, trailheads, and the road diet. Tony led the code enforcement effort to meet with the 9-mile road business owners and emphasize the game-changing elements that were occurring on 9-mile road. And she told them, to paraphrase, now it's time for the business owners to do their part. Through mostly encouragement and general conversation, and that's one of Tony's greatest attributes. She doesn't have to do the written notices and eventually get the tickets. She does this through encouragement and general conversations. She convinced the owners to clean up the blight, weeds, broken windows, junk cars, and even convinced, as Eric mentioned, the doctor's office on the north side of 9-mile road to demo the tree root-infested fence. Tony even convinced one of our business owners that weren't too happy with the 9-mile road project to be all in on the project after she went and met with him and told him all the great things and how things are changing. She did a really great job with, what's his name?
We're going to get her in on sales, I don't know.
It's because of these great efforts and the simple everyday things that Tony does that I nominate her as Employee of the Month. With great pleasure, I'm proud and pleased to introduce to you Animal Control Officer, Code Inspector Tony Christoffel.
For both of you, if we could get a photo with City Council, that would be great. By the way, Tony, nobody gets as excited about the words code enforcement blitz as you and I do together collectively. Those are some of my favorite things that have ever happened. Come on up, though, both of you, and get your picture taken, please. Thank you.
Nice. I'll take the cups, you take them. There you go. social skill is incredible. Yeah. Wow, wow. Okay, public hearing. That was fun. Okay, we are on number 11 on our agenda, which is approval of payment for an invoice submitted by Howard Schiffman, PC, for legal services retainer for January 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2020, in the total amount of $18,000. Is there a motion to approve payment?
So moved.
Second,
Seconded. Discussion?
yes.
Yes.
Either our copy machine needs to be cleaned, or this is the worst invoice I have ever seen. We need to straighten
Oh.
it out. It looks, yeah, it's pretty bad. So you need to clean our copy machine, I guess.
All right. We will do it. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Weiss.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, approval of payment of invoices submitted by Garen Luco Miller, PC, for legal services in the amount of $13,845.40. Is there a motion to approve payment?
So moved?
Seconded.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
the amount on the agenda is different than the amount on the actual invoice.
Okay. For Garen Luca?
Oh, wait, or is it listed as the two combined?
Yes, the two combined.
Okay. Never mind.
All set. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Weiss.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. City Manager Eric Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. I would like to ask our esteemed colleague, the Assistant City Manager, Kevin Need, to join me at the podium for 15A, please.
Good evening. Attached is payment application number 1 for the 2019 lead water service replacement project, M701. This project will replace the lead service lines throughout the city. The project is approximately 34% complete from the budgeted amount. It is recommended that payment application number 1 for the 2019 lead water service replacement project, M701, be approved to D'Angelo Brothers of Northville, Michigan, for the amount of $100,814. Funding is available in the Water and Sewer Fund.
Okay, is there a motion to that effect?
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes, please.
So if I'm to understand this correctly, that the project is 34% complete, meaning we're 34% on the way to having lead-free private service lines.
So we are 34% from spending the amount that we had set aside for this project.
Okay.
But I would like to go over, if I have some time here, some statistics on where we are at currently with this
Yes.
project.
Thank you.
So we've performed 1,050 inspections to date, in-home inspections to date. Eric Stewart, who is here this evening, has done a large number of those, but we've also recruited several other employees to try to accomplish this great feat of trying to make sure everyone is comfortable with the service that they have. Of these inspections, we have located 85 homes that have a lead water service. I want to point out that we've already replaced 47 of them to date. This obviously we've replaced several since this payment application was created. We've already replaced 47 to date. Of the original 380 homes that we had marked with a possible private lead service based on the age of the home and our records, we've been into 225 of those. This is due to our great efforts. We've sent letters, we've knocked on doors, we've taped letters to doors. We've tried to get into all of these 380 homes as being our most likely to have lead service. 150 of those 225 that we inspected actually had copper. So of them, most of them that we inspected did have copper. 75 of those had the lead service line, and we found others as well. So I just wanted to point out that's kind of where we're at with this project. We hope that we'll get into the remaining 150, 160 of, or 155, it looks like, of the homes that we have not gotten into that we suspect may have it. But even of those, we're finding that 75% don't have lead services.
So these are homes built before 1949?
Right, correct, prior to 1950.
And so then 10 of the homes that were discovered were not on the original list. So if
Correct.
residents have concerns that their house is not on the original list, they should call the water department and have them come out.
Absolutely, yes. We've inspected 1,050 homes. We've inspected well beyond, and we've also posted the information. We've posted pictures. So a lot of people have done self-inspections, and we want to get into homes. If anyone has questions, please call, make an appointment. We'll come out. Eric Stewart or another member of our team will come out. We want to check every home where anyone has any concern.
People have felt so welcome to call.
Good.
You've done an outstanding job
Thank
at
you.
making people feel comfortable calling if they have any question.
Yep, absolutely.
City Manager Eric Tunke.
Madam Mayor, I just wanted to piggyback on what you just said. And there are a few things that happen around here that have such a huge impact on the impressions and the impact in our community as this. And right or wrong, people are concerned that there's lead in the water. The way that our department has handled this, and, you know, we're not in this to be measured as, you know, the best in the state or anything like that, but the reality of it is to me, it's a perfect indication of what makes the city, our residents great and our employees great, because we will probably, it's looking like at least, there's a very good chance that we will be the first community with this issue in the state to have fully remediated this problem from our community. And that's a far cry from cities around us. And I just wanted to point that out because it really underscores how great our residents are, because you see all the positive support they're putting out there, but also how great our employees are. And Kevin, thank you so much for your leadership, and Dave DeCoster too, in this area. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That
Appreciate
people aren't being discouraged, far from it. They're being encouraged. If you're concerned, please call us. We'll come and check it. It is a scary issue to people, and I think we are the model city. I think we wrote the book on how to handle this.
We're trying our best.
Proud of you. So are we ready for a vote on something? 15A? Are we ready for a vote on 15A?
We are.
We are. And we have the motion and the second? Yes. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Weiss.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Motion carried.
Assistant City Manager Yee, 15B, please.
Thank you. Plans and specifications are nearly complete for the 2020 9 Mile Road Decorative Fence Construction Project M708. This project will replace the fencing in the Greenbelt area on the south side of 9 Mile between Rosewood and Scotia. There is $200,000 budgeted in the proposed 2020-21 budget, capital improvement program budget for this expenditure. It is recommended that the request to advertise for bids for the 2020 9 Mile Road Decorative Concrete Fence Project M708 be approved. It is further recommended that the proposed funds from the 2020-21 budget be appropriated from the general fund balance to account 101-18-444-970 to fund this project in the fiscal year 2019-20 budget.
Okay, is there a motion to advertise for bids and to appropriate funds?
So moved?
Second?
Moved and seconded. Discussion, replacing the fencing. I wish we had pictures of the present fencing.
Yes, I
Can you
did not.
describe it to the people who haven't seen it?
Yes, the current fencing it's a mixture of different types of fences along the corridor. Most of them are overgrown with brush and trees and things that have grown into the fence. Like I said, it's a combination of different types and years built of cyclone fencing and some privacy fences that are, for the most part, have seen better days.
Have
So-
seen better days. That's a very kind way.
But the key is to remove a lot of the overgrowth and the brush and put a clean up the area and put a nice, even, consistent fence in that area.
I know the fences are a little antiquated and weather dated. Can you just tell the people the area, the streets between, the streets that the new fence will?
The area in question is going to be on 9 Mile Road on the south side between Rosewood and Scotia. Currently, we just put a new path in there, and there's a new pathway, and there's going to be some different types of features in there as well as we go forward.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
On 9 Mile between Rosewood and Scotia is the location of the fence. Other question?
If I may say too, because of there being a new pathway there and a plan to put in a linear parks, it also gives the residents who live on the other side a little bit more privacy from potential noise.
Correct.
But they also do have access because there is a pass-through park into that neighborhood south of 9 Mile along that fence line, correct?
We are putting there is currently a lot that we are going to put a pass-through park, correct, that would give access to get to the pathway and the amenities there.
Thank you.
So I assume that you did a lot of research into materials, and this is a durable fence?
Yes, it is. We believe that we're going to be specifying a very durable fence, commercial grade fencing, but it will be vinyl, yes.
We haven't decided on a color, right? I know
We-
we looked at a few different colors.
Correct. We have not decided on a color. I will be bringing that back. I want to get samples of the actual colors, and they are providing samples from the manufacturer of the actual colors. So once I get that, I'll bring that back.
My concern about this kind of fence is that, and we discussed it a little bit, they tend to get sort of moldy, and I've noticed a lot of these fences in the city, so it's rainfall or whatever, but they do get kind of mossy. They don't look so good, and the posts tend to fall off. So, is it going to look good in 5 years, or is it going to look sort of beat?
Well, we are specifying this as a commercial grade fencing. We believe that we're going to put a product out there that will be long lasting and that will be maintained. So our side of the fence we will be maintaining, and that may mean Public Works has to go out there every 3, 4, 5 years and power wash the fence or do whatever we have to do to maintain it. Just like anything on our property, it requires maintenance a lot of times. So we plan on maintaining it and keeping this corridor looking good.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, ready for a vote?
Councilmember Weiss.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Director Cooper, if you could join me at the podium for 15C, please.
All right, good evening again. The Department of Public Safety is requesting to purchase 6 new tasers along with the necessary accessories, which include 6 battery packs, 15 taser cartridges, and 6 extended warranties. The current tasers that will be replaced are over 10 years old, and some are in various stages of disrepair. Manufacturer recommends replacement after 5 years. The taser falls into the less lethal force category, and it's a very valuable tool used by our officers in the field. The taser utilizes an electrical discharge that disrupts the body's ability to communicate messages from the brains to the muscle. The taser provides officers with a control option when faced with active resistance or aggressive confrontations. Department of Public Safety is also requesting to purchase 2 ballistic shields to be deployed in the field and utilized mainly by the patrol division during high-risk incidents. The ballistic shields provide protection from various pistol and rifle rounds as officers are at greater risk of such exposure. And the manufacturer warranties the shields for 10 years. The cost for the 6 tasers along with the necessary accessories is $9,327. Total cost for the 2 ballistic shields would be $3,590, and I've attached supporting documents listing the individual pricing. The grand total for all of the above-mentioned equipment is $12,917. I'm recommending that City Council approve the purchase request for the above equipment utilizing the funding from the Public Safety Narcotic Forfeiture Fund. Currently, there's $52,853 available in this fund.
Okay, is there a motion to approve purchase?
So moved?
Second?
Moved and seconded. Questions or comments? Yes.
You mentioned that the current tasers are over 10 years old and they're suggested to be replaced after every 5 years. Are there any other tasers that are that overdue for replacement?
We have some that will be due for replacing. We started to, I guess, attritioning some of the older tasers out as they became inoperable in 2015. And we've replaced those. Once we get this batch here, I would say we're probably at about another half dozen, between 10 and a half dozen that would actually need to be replaced at some point. The ones that we have that are still operable, obviously we are still using those, and the manufacturer's recommendation as far as replacing those, we take that under advisement, but if they're still operable and in good shape, we'll continue to use them until they basically give out on us. They are fairly expensive, and trying to be fiscally responsible, we're doing everything we can to get every inch of life out of those that equipment as possible.
Is there any risk at using them if they're over, like, past their prime?
No, it's not like a ballistic vest or something where they say after the 5 years, you know, the fiber or something breaks down. This is kind of more of a, you know, they have the second generation stuff that actually comes out. Latest, greatest. I don't want to say it's a marketing ploy to get you to switch over after 5 years, but for lack of a better word, it's a marketing ploy to get you to switch over after 5 years. If those tasers are operable and they were getting the job done and we don't have any issues with them, we'll, like I said, we continue to use them, and there's no risk that I'm aware of to the public or to our officers for carrying those tasers.
It's kind of like the cell phones where they encourage you to get a new one every 2 or 3 years, and
Well,
Yeah.
those stop work. Those actually do stop working after a while. The 2 ballistic shields. What sort of scenario would those be? Is that like an active shooter scenario?
That would be one of the main reasons we would use them if we got called over to a God forbid, any location, and we had someone who was actively firing or, you know, injuring people. Our officers wear their soft ballistic vests, but they do not stop rifle rounds. We're not equipped to we're not wearing helmets, so if you're going in as a team or you're going in immediately, this provides you an extra level of protection against a rifle round. So the ballistic shield, they're probably about a little more than 4 feet. I was on a SWAT team for 10 years, and we trained regularly with the ballistic shields, and they proved to be a very valuable tool. We had deployed the since decommissioned ballistic shields that we had with our special response team up until this point, but those have kind of exceeded their life expectancy, so we're moving on. We'd also, like I said, any type of situation, it doesn't have to be an active shooter situation, but if you're going into a location where maybe there's a burglary, maybe you suspect there's a suspect hiding that could be potentially armed. Obviously, Detroit had a situation a few weeks ago where the officers went in searching, and unfortunately, the officer lost his life going down the stairs. That would be one of the prime examples that probably or could have definitely helped aid the officer in that search. So we want to avoid any type of situation like that if possible, and want to try and equip our staff with latest and greatest and the best stuff out there to get them home at night.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, let's see. So we are ready to vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Weiss.
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cooper. Lastly, council members, I wanted to let everyone know that City Hall and the library, I believe we have a graphic, I think, at least. There we go. Will be closed next Tuesday and Wednesday, and trash collection will be delayed one day due to the holiday. And then the following week, I believe we have another graph, there we go. City Hall and the library will be closed Tuesday and Wednesday the following week as well for the holiday, and trash collection will be again delayed one day due to that holiday. In addition to that, I also wanted to say happy holidays to everyone, and please be safe and have a great holiday season. Thank you very much. That completes the city manager report for this evening.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate. Call to the audience. Please fill in the card with your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you sign it, we get your name and address right when we put it in the minutes.
Ed Bass, 24250 Kipling, Oak Park. I have a question for a couple of questions for the library. The library director, are you hiring or soon and eventually? It's one question. And another one is opening the Sunday library soon or eventually? Just curious.
Right. We will get that. We'll get that answered for you. Thank you so much. Can you speak to that?
I can. Just to give you a quick answer, yes, to both is our hope. I think the Sunday hour closure will be temporary, and it's my understanding that the library board is looking to put a posting out as early as this Wednesday for the library director opening.
Anybody else? It's a quiet group. All right. Call to council. I went to the South Oakland County Mayor's Association meeting. They had a public safety officer from Farmington Hills and a nurse who teaches at Oakland talk about Narcan training. You can get them to come to your group to explain about Narcan training and give everyone a packet. Many overdoses can be turned around with quick response. So it will be in the mayor's message how you can contact these groups. At the library, there's a cute display. It says, I don't recall the title, but the cover is red. And they're all red-covered books called Red Reads. Nice job. We have hired 3 wonderful new personnel for the library. Very excited about getting them in there. And we're looking forward to great things in the library. Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Please have a safe and happy holiday.
Thank you. Councilmember Weiss.
Good evening, everyone. Just to piggyback off of something that the mayor just mentioned, I attended the Tri-Community Coalition Leadership Breakfast this past Friday, and the Tri-Community Coalition is offering free Narcan training, community training, one coming up actually here in Oak Park at the Community Center on January 29th at 7 p.m., and another one at Berkeley Parks and Rec on February 13th, also at 7 p.m. And if you attend those, you will receive a free Save the Life kit if you're 18 or over, which contains 2 doses of Narcan. And so that is free for anyone in the community to attend, and we encourage people to come out for that. And Mayor, maybe you can also include that.
I would love to be there.
Thank you. Additionally, I received a letter from a very important person, which is my nephew, saying, "Dear Aunt Gina, I am mailing you a flat Stanley to mail back to me, and please fill out the form and send a picture. Love, Gavin." And he's supposed to go on some adventure, and so his adventure is coming to city council meeting. And so this is Flat Stanley, and this is proof that he was here. And he's going to sit in Solomon Radner's chair here for the rest of the meeting.
And we're going to get pictures to send back.
Yes, thank you everyone so much, and have a great evening, and have a great holiday season.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Have a very, very happy holiday.
Thank you. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Oh, my God. So